let's continue with how to fight against cloakers. In this major lecture, we issue that topic. Okay, now I've played with Evil Empire quite a lot, and Evil Empire is a carrier race with no cloaking technology and no anti-cloaking technology. So they are very vulnerable against cloakers. But how to fight against cloakers where you don't have any weapons? Well, you can try to trade. Evil Empire has got their probes, so early on they can reach any other race with the 3 hyper jumps. It's a very good trading ship, so they can send messages and try to trade with another players. For example, for Loki, and then those glory ships that can also trigger when they see cloak ships in the same spot in space, and then also web mines protections. They are quite efficient also against cloakers, and you could be able to capture some cloakers with the webs too. So the trading is of course the first thing people suggest when you ask how to fight against cloakers when you don't have any means to that. But then there are other means. You can lay small minefields like I've laid here, and I am going to lay small minefields on pretty much every planet here in the beginning of the game. If you use too much money to minefields, especially before ship limit, you are wasting resources you could use to build bigger warships. So with small minefields, the enemy needs to risk moving through those minefields when he goes to your planets, or then the enemy needs to stop and sweep, and usually they have rather poor beams in the beginning of the game because they have to put good engines to the cloakers, and they are not very low tech hulls, and they are usually torpedo ships though, so they even need torpedoes, so they usually have bad beams in the beginning of the game. Later on they will be accompanied by better beamed ships and better beamed cloakers also. But small minefields, trade, okay, what next? Well, they try to target your economy, so you can put those defense ships, and one good thing is that if you have built those large deep space freighters with low ID in the beginning of the game, when you build them in the beginning of the game, they have low ID, and you tow a defense ship with bad engines with you, all the enemy ships, the cloaked ships with higher ID, they can't tow either one of those because this one tows first. So by towing other ships with small ID freighters, you are able to keep them safe, both of the ships safe from towing. It's very common for the cloaked ships to sit waiting on a planet and then try to tow away your ships for destruction or capture in many places. Then very useful trick that I'm going to use on this planet cluster a lot soon is to arrive fuelless. This means that when I'm going to this planet, I will drop neutronium like this, and then I will arrive fuelless. And now, if this planet has got defense posts and nuke, and if the enemy intercepts this ship, the cloaked enemy intercepts this ship, they can't attack it because it arrives fuelless, but the planet may attack, and especially if there are star bases. And then also in the star bases you can set the mission to unload all freighters. So if the freighters arrive there, they will drop their cargo before combat. So that is also useful trick against cloakers. And when moving in space, when attacking a cloaking race, you may have those big carriers like Corbies I'm going to have soon. And a large D-space freighter towing a Corby should every turn arrive to the next spot with no fuel. And the fuel is in the Corby, and you only add the amount of fuel to the large D-space freighter that is needed to tow the Corby. You just have to remember every turn to set the mission to tow again, because when it arrives fuelless and there's no fuel, the ship mission is resetted to exploration, so you don't leave your Corby behind. Okay, so there were some anti-cloak tricks that you can do before if you don't have anti-cloaking technology. Then a couple of more. Another trick is to intercept your own ships. So if the enemy tows your ship with a low ID cloaker, you can tow the accompanying defense ship can intercept your own ship, so it will follow the freighter or whatever the ship was that was towed away to where it went. And then there is this trick that on a planet, if you are not sure if there's cloakers or not, you can set the friendly code to BUM, and if some money just went missing from your planet, it pinned up the money to the enemy cloaker. I've never actually used that, but it's a trick you can use. Then the two important things. The best defense against cloakers is that the cloakers can't reach you. So best thing for me would be that I would go first to these surrounding planets in my area, and I would take